Next, we have the Building Maintenance and Operation Team. Jocelyn Reed, my supervisor, will be providing information and updates on the strategic vehicle. Jocelyn, are you ready?
I am ready.
Perfect.
All right. Well, good afternoon, and congratulations for making it to the last hour. We've had some really great information, and it's been a really great presentation so far. So I'm here today to talk to you about what's going on with the Building Maintenance and Operations solution. Next slide. So today we're just going to cover a quick overview about the program in general. We'll talk about some of the success with BMO. We'll talk about some the BMO marketing, how we use Ability One, and go into questions after that. Okay, so what is building maintenance and operations? Again, as known as BMO. So for some of you that may not know what the solution is, what it is it's a comprehensive building maintenance and facility support solution. It is a strategic sourcing initiative, and it is a best-in-class. It has a best-in-class designation from OMB. It's not an open market. It's an open market solution. Sorry, it's an open market multiple award IDIQ, not a schedule solution. So it's not done off of the mass schedule. It is an open market solution. So the BMO is divided into, one unique thing about the vehicle is it's divided into geographic segments. And within each segment, there is operating under the same basic terms and conditions. So we'll get a little bit into this a little bit later in the slides, but essentially it's built out of zones that are built out of states, and then it allows for localized business support. So for a quick or emergency request, performance or services must be awarded within that zone. Next slide. So, as we mentioned before, BMO is a best-in-class vehicle. So it has a designation from the Office of Management and Budget. And what this encompasses is it's a best-in-class vehicle solutions. Again, all designated big by a cross-agency team of experts. Category management's practices are in place. So what that means is that the category management has designated certain criteria, and each big solution adheres to those. So that's in place. They are very well organized, well managed, and transparent vehicles. So you are able to see the transparency for each big solution. In the big solutions, we collect and analyze transactional data, and we share that data to make sure that the solution is as beneficial to the agencies as possible. And we have tools to share and info to reduce duplication, and we're able to define, track, and publicize metrics. So essentially that is what the best-in-class vehicle is, and how that supports our agencies. Next slide. So the BMO contract and the way it's set up in the overview of the vehicle. So again, as mentioned, BMO is a multiple award IDIQ, which is indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract. It is separated into a small business vehicle and an unrestricted vehicle. It has a 10-year parent contract term. There's a 5-year base and one 5-year option, and there's an ordering period that goes up to 15 years. So essentially what that means is on the last day you could essentially exercise an option on the last day of the contract period, and that could go for another 5 years. BMO was awarded using commercial acquisition procedures found under FAR Part 12. However, for our customers and to make sure that we fully support our customers' requirements and needs, the BMO vehicle has a unilateral changes clause waiver, which allows them to issue changes unilaterally based on certain requirements. BMO is a task, has task order contract type. So what that means is we have various contract types. You can use fixed price, time and material, and labor hours, or a hybrid of those contract types. Next slide. The BMO vehicle also has features such as on-ramping, in which you can allow vendors to on-ramp on the vehicle in certain requirements and terms. We have requirements where you can be off-ramped off the vehicle, and then it has features of the vehicle where you can put a vendor in dormancy if any maybe performance issues or any other issues arise. The BMO vehicle is required to use a delegation of procurement authority vehicle. So every contracting officer that issues orders against BMO is required to have a delegation of procurement authority, or we refer to as a DPA. A DPA is issued after completing a mandatory BMO training. We have two different methods that can be done. We have pre-recorded videos that are published on YouTube, and you can watch those videos and request for the training after you've completed the segment of videos. We also offer live training on a quarterly basis. So you can sign up for that training. It is listed on our website. And depending on the need and the requirement of the agency, you can contact us to issue a training request if you needed a training that was not publicized or readily available, or if you needed something in a hurry. So one thing about the DPAs, it's issued after completing the mandatory videos, as mentioned. The DPAs are issued to individuals, so not agencies at large. So they're essentially, we want to make sure that there's enough individuals that are issuing orders actually have the DPAs, because they're not redelegable or non-transferable. So if a person leaves, and a new person gets hired, that cannot be transferred to another individually. Right. Okay, so BMO, I kind of mentioned earlier, is illustrated, is separated in phases and zones. And so this is a map of the phases and zones that is separated, and as mentioned, certain states are in each zone. So as you see, phase one is illustrated in green, and it covers basically the DC metro area and the surrounding cities. Phase two actually covers zones 2 through 6, and phase three is currently not awarded, and we'll talk a little bit about that later in the later slides of where we stand with phase three. So that's kind of how the BMO is structured. You can issue task orders as long as they're within that same phase, and the zones falls within that phase. Next slide. So currently, our BMO is separated, like you saw in this previous slide. We have phase one and phase two. So phase one, each phase has 2 different contracts under it. So there's a small business vehicle and an unrestricted vehicle. Under phase one, we just exercised an option. We currently have 33 small businesses under phase one, and we have 10 businesses under under phase one small business, and 10 businesses listed under the unrestricted vehicle. We did have 2 businesses that were on-ramp to the unrestricted vehicle during this process. We use a vertical on-ramp for this, and what that means is that these companies outgrew their current small business size, and were on-ramped into the unrestricted vehicle based on that. So that's a very good thing for us. And so in phase two, It's same structure. There's a small business vehicle and an unrestricted vehicle. Currently, there's currently 24 businesses listed under the small business vehicle, and currently 9 listed under the unrestricted. The vehicle is, we're actually working on the option on this one. The vehicle, the small business is set to expire this July, and the unrestricted vehicle is set to expire in November of this year. So BMO, again, BMO supports task orders that will not be set aside for small business. So you'll see it referred to as the unrestricted, and then the BMO small business supports the task orders that will be set aside for small business. And we use the NAICS 561210, so it has a $38.5 million size standards. Under this vehicle, you may note that you can include set-asides for specific socioeconomic categories. So just make sure that you always go to our website so you can see the complete list of updated vendors, and we have all that information available. Next slide, please. So I'm not going to read each one, but we do have a few success stories of businesses of agencies that reported success using the BMO vehicle. As you can see, there are savings calculated. You can see there was for the Army Corps of Engineers, there were 34.7 in total cost savings, and they reported 6-month time savings. You can also see the Robbins Air Force Base, that the grounds maintenance, there was a vehicle, it was issued for 8.4 million, and it was reported that they saved approximately 6 to 9 months. And you can see that the cost savings for using the vehicle range from 12 to 26%. So as you can see, kind of going down, we also have other successes noted at 49% and cost savings of 12.9%. So just a few success stories of customers enjoying the use of the VMO vehicle and enjoying the benefits of it being a big solution and reaping those savings and time benefits. Next slide, please. Okay, so one of the things that we always get in BMO is, how do I market, this vehicle? BMO was, we're like I said, we just exercised our first option on phase 1. So we're, moving into kind of out of the newer vehicle. But, agencies are getting, to learn it more and more. But we always get a lot of questions on, how can I market this vehicle? So some of our key marketing concepts. Reputation. So just like we talked about the success stories, just like word travels fast, and market that it's a big vehicle, market that agencies are reporting cost and time savings, and we market that we try to keep a really great relationship with our industry partners, and our industry keeps a great relationship with our customers, overall creating this win-win solution. So if you are you have worked with agencies and that there's an upcoming requirement, utilize some of that. Again, reputation is key. One thing we always try to do is make a note for improvement. If we've had, as you guys have seen on the previous slide, one of that open position that Kim mentioned earlier, or Teresa mentioned earlier, is Mary Snodderly. And if you guys have been probably participating in a few industry days, I'm sure you've seen Mary a time or two, and she retired. So we're making sure that we're working on keeping up with, making sure that we're responding to all requests, RFIs, RFQs, and making sure that, we're filling Mary's shoes. So just make sure that if there's any area of improvement, make sure you contact us. If you need anything, please keep us updated. We have a new contracting officer, Charla Ford, and she has been amazing at making sure that everything gets responded to in a timely fashion. So just make sure that, again, if something gets overlooked or if you need anything, make sure that you contact us. Some of the features that BMO provides to aid to some of the marketing concepts is we provide DPA training as listed. Our BMO website has a lot of valuable information, and then we also have a lot of great information on the acquisition gateway. So make sure that you visit those sites so you can retrieve that information. We also perform scope reviews and have in-depth discussions with customers. So if you need us to reach out to a customer agency, you want us to, perform in-depth information or just give them, an overview about the program, we are more than willing to do that. And again, it's a partnership. So we want to work with you to make sure that you're getting the information that you need out to your customers. So we work together for that. So we provide all those services to help aid in the marketing process to create that win-win solution for everyone. So next slide. Okay, and we also do have the ability one program encompassing into the BMO. So just so you know, and I won't read directly from the slide, but the Javis Wagner O'Day requires the federal agencies to purchase products and services from that mandatory procurement list. So it is included in our language that FAR 52208, that mandatory use of supplies and services are listed there. So just make sure that is included in the BMO vehicle. If there's ever any questions about that process, we've listed a point of contact here on this slide. And so just, kind of refer back to this point of contact if there are questions on that. So next slide. So the future of BMO. We get a lot of questions on, phase 3 and what the future of BMO will look like. So currently, we are not anticipating a future next generation of BMO. We are working closely with the new services MAC, which is the multi-agency contract, to make sure that the BMO type services are included in this new vehicle. And so Lee will be talking to you right after me to kind of give you a little bit more information on that. But what I encourage you to do is make sure that you are, and you probably heard this multiple times, and it was the question starting the poll question starting this presentation, but get signed up on our Interact pages. I will say I was clapping my hands when I saw that the BMO had the top sign up. So make sure that you're signing up. We will post our any information needed on the Interact page, and also get signed up for the Services MAC page, where they will be posting the up-to-date, most current information on that. So again, we're not plan on there are no plans for phase 3 and a future generation, and so that is kind of where the future of BMO stands. We are doing great with the success, and we're going to be working with our industry our industry partners to make sure that they know about the Services MAC, and you'll get a little bit more information in the next presentation. So next slide. So that's just our question slide. So does anybody have any questions?
Okay, we had a few questions come in, and I want to address. The first one came in after the last presentation had ended. It was regarding SIP. Is GSA considering getting rid of SIP? I thought I heard that during a previous session. So Kim responded to that one. and said that they are working on it. You just addressed phase 3. There was another question that came in to find out about onboarding to BMO, which you just addressed. The last one, Kim answered as well, but I just want to go read it out loud. Is GSA self-funding, or are they subject to the CR and they are self-funded?
Well, that just made my job easier.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I think there was another one that came in, Amanda. Looks like Kim is answering it, and it's what is the timeline for the MAC?
And I can just kind of quickly answer that one. Lee is going to be presenting next, and he actually is going to go into the timeline and kind of give you some general information on the MAC. But again, make sure you sign up for the Interact page as well.
Okay, one more question came in chat, so we'll get to that quick. Would BMO relate to a current contract we have with GSA, or is it a total separate pathway?
BMO, I'm relate to its current contract. If I'm following the question correctly, BMO is it's a GSA vehicle, but it's a separate contract. It's not I think this is maybe saying with a mass, or there's not combined with another vehicle. It's a individualized vehicle. Hope I answered that correctly.
Correct, that makes sense.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no more questions, Jocelyn, thank you for all that wonderful information about BMO.